And hello again, everyone. Welcome to the next short attention span webinar. We are going to continue with part two of our Batman series. And Zam, boof, poff. The top three reasons why we lose customers. Now, Kelly, just to review, even though we just recorded this a minute ago, I've already forgotten because I'm tired. Um, we said poor communication,
Yep,
um, basically falling asleep at the wheel, and then losing
yep,
price, losing on price for the wrong
for the
reason.
wrong
So,
reason.
okay, so
Hmm.
let's build on that. This first one's kind of interesting. This is the number three reason why we lose a customer, and that is that we forget that everything is expected to be now. Now,
Hmm.
you know, and I am older than you, Kelly, so I can tell you that way back when uh, there were in my world when I was selling business forms, we had as many as 26-week deliveries. Our standard delivery time 8 to 12 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. Rush orders were 3 weeks. It was unheard of to get
Hmm.
anything in less than that. And then along came Federal Express, and now FedEx is too slow. People send you a text
Right.
message; they want a response right now. I was in a conversation with a guy in Florida this last week, a client, and we were talking about this: how people will actually get upset with him for taking 2 hours to return a phone call.
Hmm.
And we lose customers because of this. Are they being unreasonable, Kelly?
Whether it's unreasonable or not, it's the new normal. So we
Yeah.
have to adapt. It's like we talked about and what we've been developing our content about is we have to just understand, and you can't argue with it. You can't tell these people they're wrong to change
Mm.
their expectations. And this goes for internal communication too. This is it's almost as if we can't believe that somebody doesn't at least acknowledge an email too and say, "Hey, I got that." There's it's just an ever with the dynamics of communication, but most importantly, what this can boil down to for people is just to establish that with your customers. What is your expectation of how
Yeah.
we communicate? And it'll
Yeah.
reveal itself over time, but that's not a bad question to ask in the outset of a relationship.
And I
I
think
prefer
that's,
email,
but I think that's the
that kind of
bottom
thing,
line
so
there,
they
Kelly,
can.
right? Just setting those
Yeah.
expectations. It might be as simple as that.
Mhm. Right.
And changing your outgoing voicemail message. Today
Mhm.
is Wednesday, the 23rd. I will be available until 9 o'clock, and then I'll be on the road. Then I'll get back to you after 1. Something as simple as that could actually save the account.
Mhm.
Number two, we fail to innovate. And this is a huge one. Everything is constantly in motion. We have to remember that the challenges keep coming, right? The issues keep changing. We have to keep ahead of them with with new solutions. We have to constantly challenge the status quo. So as soon as that job is shipped, even say, was that the best solution? Innovating, innovating, innovating. If you don't do this, somebody else is going to come and eat your lunch. Somebody else is going to come in and say, hey, you're over ordering. Why don't you look at digital printing? Have you thought about personalizing? Have you thought about getting rid of print and moving everything over to social media? You are going to lose the account. You're going to call and you're going to cry and you're going to say, oh my gosh, I can't believe the customer did this. But if you're not continuing to challenge the status quo, you're going to lose that account. That's the bottom line there. So, all right. So
And
there's,
remember that a great way to challenge the status quo is to ask questions that start with the word why.
yeah.
Why is that important to you? Why are you doing this? And really understand what their strategy is, what their expectations are, what their end results, intentions are, and be a part of that. So yeah, we always got to stay not one step ahead of the customer, but one step ahead of the technology. Just staying ahead of everything really is the best way to go. But keep your eyes open all the time.
And the number one reason why we lose an account is assumptions. We forget what got us there in the first place. Kelly, if you have you ever heard yourself say, God, those people love me? That account,
Absolutely.
okay. And why is that detrimental?
Well, again, it leads to complacency. It leads to, again, the one of our biggest enemies in sales on so many different levels is assumptions. So what we forget about or we ignore or we're ignorant of is the fact that we have competitors that are calling on our loyal customers every single day. And they might be asking better questions. They might have more innovative solutions. and we have to stay on top of everything. So there should never be any such thing as saying they love me. That is meaningless today, because as Bill, you say all the time, you're only as good as the last job you shipped, and customers have very, very short memories today. So we have to continually be earning and wooing and winning that business every single day.
And that can also work in your favor if you're trying to call on an account and they say, gosh, we're really happy with our existing vendor. Don't forget that current vendor may be asleep at the wheel, probably is asleep at the wheel. And you can ask the question, when's the last time they came in with an idea? And you might be able to scoop that account from them. So, that door swings both ways.
Hmm.
So there you go. Between Batman and Robin, are you Robin? Or are you what do you want to be? You want to be Batgirl?
How about Catwoman?
Catwoman? Okay. Between Batman and Catwoman, then there are 6 reasons between last week and this week as to why we lose customers. And we'll talk to you all next week with another short attention span webinar. Kelly, thanks so much.
Thanks, Bill.